Hey, all you holistic hipsters out there, it's that time. So grab your chalice of choice and sit back and sip along with us. We would love to welcome you to the TEA podcast, where we spill the tea on all things holistic in the pet grooming industry. Let me introduce you to our hostesses with the mostesses.
She is the socialite of skin and coat care, Ms. Michelle Knowles.
And the queen bee of all things oily, Ms. Melissa Conti-Diener. Brought to you by TheOilyGroomer.com. Are you searching for a new and more mindful way of grooming? Interested in understanding how to grow your grooming business with a more holistic and organic approach? Please contact Melissa Conti-Diener at TheOilyGroomer.com so that you can set up a meeting and bring balance and prosperity to your life. And AllThingsPaw.com. Intermediate and advanced courses in pet esthetician work, fear recovery, animal handling, and more. Get your learn on with All Things Paw. Also, classes with Melissa, online and self-guided, intuitive energy work, transitional therapy, and compassionate touchpoint therapy, and more. And the Herbal Paw Pet Apothecary, tailored for the individual pet, phone consultations, history gathering, and the home of the Herbal First Aid Kit.
Now, let's get the tea party started.
All right, here we are to do it again.
Good
we fooled
morning.
you. This is April Fool's. You thought we were never coming back.
That's right.
It's been a minute.
It has. But sometimes it's important to take that minute.
It is. And that's kind of what our theme is today when we get into it. Melissa, what do you have in your cup today?
I'm actually just having some cool water with lemon today.
Lemon tea. I love it.
Just lemon. I thought about adding a little bit of Melissa or lemon balm to it, but I just opted. I'm trying to make myself a little more acidic, and because I'm a little too sweet. So
you are. You're very sweet.
In one of my favorite mugs, of course, from Erin. Thank you.
Queen bee. I love it. I love it.
But yes, it's no sweetener, no nothing, just some water with lemon, and just trying to just boost my acidity so that my body can function a little better. It's all about balance.
It is.
What's in your cup?
Well, I have my I Love You for Real.
Oh.
And I have cucumber tea. Cool cucumber tea. It's a cold tea with cucumbers and water, literally. So that's what I am refreshed with today.
Nice. Who's on your lap?
This is Tessa. She's Miss Needy.
Oh.
I was cutting cucumbers and gave her one, and now she's convinced that there's just a whole plate of cucumbers that I'm keeping from her. And the saddest part is that Gemma is laying under a pile of my laundry on the couch because that's her usual spot during the day. And somehow she got in one of my house dresses and into a pocket. So she was trapped.
Oh,
when everybody else was getting cucumber, I'm like, Gemma, don't you want anything? I went in there and she was like, it was covered in a pocket. So, right, we had to fish her out a little bit. I guess I need to fold that load of laundry, right?
Yes, that should be the perfect inspiration that your dog has now trapped itself in your laundry.
Oh my gosh. It's just a small load too, but man, she found the pocket. It was so cozy.
Well, she is a pocket-sized dog for sure.
She is. Yeah, I've been busy trying to learn how to make pajamas and clothes for dogs. I don't know if I'm making my own line or not, but for some reason it fascinated me. And now I'm in the throes of doing that also because, well, we'll get into that because that's kind of part of our topic today.
What we're talking about today.
So
well, I'll apologize quickly if there's squeaking going on or any barks. Behind me is the nursery. So
You never apologize for dogs. Never.
so
Never.
they're still mice sized, but
Right. It's just so tiny.
there is 3 babies in there right now, so they're with mama. So if I do have to jump up and let mom out or adjust someone who has lost their way, that's
All
what's going
right.
on under the white sheet behind me.
So I bet you're wondering what we're going to talk about today.
Yes, what?
Well, spring cleaning inside and out, because for me, this is spring. It's springtime. For me, this is when the year actually starts.
Yes.
I don't know about the January thing. I think that when you start growing things in the garden, cleaning out your house, organizing your mind and your spirit for the following months to come, to me, this is the start of my year. So we are talking about spring cleaning inside and out, and we are following our holistic theme that we haven't talked about in a while. So I figured we would check that out a little bit.
I think that's a wonderful topic and
Yeah.
a great thing to start out this new month.
So I've got a list here, and we're just going to go through them. I'll just read the list first, and then we're just going to talk like we usually do about whatever we want. Basically, do what you love. You should be doing what you love for what your career is. And if you can't do that right now, currently, at least do a little bit of what you love on the side. Practice makes perfect. You won't get better unless you practice it. Challenge yourself every day to learn something new or to perfect something that you need work on. Organize your station. And I know all the girls at the salon are laughing at me right now because, right. But organize your station. Organize your station. Budget time for relaxation. Budget time for silence. I think a lot of us are go, go, go. And then we get home, then we have kids or spouses or dogs or things that we're doing. You should have a half an hour during each day in which you just reflect and be quiet. Whoever you pray to, you can pray to them. But if you're not even religious and don't pray to anybody, just find a reflective moment for silence. Turn off the TV, put the phone away in another room, and just reflect on where you've come from, where you're going, what are the choices you can make. Clean your house. And when I say clean your house, I don't mean just clean your physical house. Clean your body. Give yourself a spa day. Get in those nooks and crannies that you're forgetting. Give yourself a facial, at-home facial. If you only take showers, take the time out if you have a tub to soak. Clean your whole house, inside and out. Clean your spirit. And that's when you take time to have that moment of silence, have that reflective moment, and start making choices today to change your tomorrow. If we don't start making appropriate choices now in the moment, then they're always going to be in the future. They'll never realize themselves. So it's important to make some choices that will change where your trajectory is headed into the future. So that's basically our theme today, and that's what we're going to be talking about. What have you done, Melissa, to cleanse your life?
Since we came back from California, from Groom Expo West, I had to clean and organize my office to get everything, because everything just got thrown in here when we came back. And so everything had to get put away in the places that I store my things like that. And then I have been having a Boo Radley moment of time where I just am not being very social and not being very seen on social media very much, or being out there. I just needed to take a little bit more time for me and to deal with myself. Like I said, about, balancing myself inside. And that not only means my physical body, but my emotional body and my spiritual body. So it's been a minute for me to feel like I'm starting to want to kind of part the curtains and come back out, and have to just kind of sit back. And I struggle with relaxation anyway, because I judge my worth by what I produce.
Right. We're very similar in that
Yes.
respect. Absolutely.
And so it's hard for me to do that. So when my body starts to tell me I need rest, I have to start to listen. As Michelle knows, when we were in California, I was getting leg cramps and, all sorts of things. So I'm trying to adjust my dietary needs, adjust my emotional needs, and then also even move around some of my personal clients that I groom, so that everybody's not bunched up all on the same weekends, so that I'm kind of spacing things out a little bit where I have a little bit extra time. So I'm kind of cleaning out all that clutter and trying to make some space for me to heal in this spring. I need to grow. I need to have new challenges and new things. And sometimes you at least for myself, I am pushed into that corner where my body's like, nope, we're not doing this anymore. And
yeah.
once your brain's like, go, 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 go. And your body's like, no, 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 no. And so I literally have been taking these past few months to just listen to my body and to try to really, really heal that. So, because for spring, we were talking off camera, and I have a lot of things planned that I want to delve into, but I need to regenerate that energy and that passion, like refuel that. I think that we get burned out. We put so much out that I just said this to my daughter. I feel like my vessel was empty.
You're spent.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good word for it. It's not even burnout. It's just spent.
Yeah. Like
because you want to continue doing the thing.
Yeah.
But you're just spent.
Like I couldn't even come up with, like I sat in front of the computer and I just could not even come up with, I have a layout for a whole new class and I just couldn't even put it together, where that usually comes very easily. It's very, organic for me to sit in front of the computer and just start hashing out stuff. And I just was like, I got nothing.
I feel that so hard. I feel it so hard. I'm in the throes of getting the garden ready for the summer season. I just got some new supports for all the beans that I'm going to plant tonight, as a matter of fact. And I just am going hog wild. Then everybody knows I started to learn how to embroider. And my first little project is almost done, but I have to rip out the big mushroom because I don't like the stitch that I practiced on. And it's just the practice because I'm going to embroider it on my smock that I made because everybody knows I'm trying to make clothes.
I know.
I'm trying to sew. And I did modify 2 of my shirts so they're tailored and fit better. So that's 2 clothes that I have done because I think the last time
more than 0
because the last time we talked I was like, I'm going to do it the next time you see me. So yes, I am doing that. But then for some reason, my brain said, well, Gemma probably needs pajamas because she's always cold. And I was looking at YouTube and then I saw this little pattern for 4-legged jammies from the long nose lady, I think it is. And she's got whippets.
Oh, okay.
And I think she has whippets. But she makes all beautiful clothes for them. And I'm like, Gemma needs some clothes because she's constantly living under a blanket because she's cold. She just is cold all the time. Gemma, not so, or Tessa, not so much. She'll curl up on top of something, but she doesn't like to be covered. So I'm like, okay, I'll make her some jammies. And then I thought about it and I'm like, you know what? I could probably make dog jammies. And then I got this pattern and I'm trying to fit it to her weird body that she doesn't even have a regular body. It's like she got put together with 5 different breeds of dogs that she's not even related to. Like it's just
They're just
she's
little
just tail built.
they're just little elfin creatures that you
Yes.
have.
Yes. Just a little gnarled, weird. Eh. And then I look behind me, and literally, I've got 2 of those huge 6-tier wire racks that you buy at Home Depot,
Right.
and they're just crammed with fabric and yarn and string and stuff and all kind. I'm like, oh my gosh. So now, I've got my entire hallway is lined with just boxes of stuff that I've got to go through before I can even sit in there and be happy. And my husband washed a pair of pants of his and their slacks. And he's like, hey, I have a thread. So all his stuff's coming out on one hem. And I'm like, if I'm going to be in here sewing, in order to enjoy myself, and that's not even the worst of it. I said, I got to clean this place up. Because last night, as I was not able to sleep, because people know I have chronic insomnia and I only sleep like 2 seconds per week, I decided I probably wanted to make a quilt at one point.
Oh.
It's wrong, I know, but I can't stop. I can't stop it. She's laughing because she knows me. It's like,
I know.
okay, let's do it then. I have all the stuff because I cleaned out that wall.
Right.
And now I've got to put it all back. And as I'm putting it back, I'm like, I have everything here to make a quilt. So
I never wake up and say I need to make a quilt. Never. I think there's a picture of me at like the sewing store, like next to a sewing machine, like do not sell to this woman. Like, you know,
fair.
I
Fair.
have tried my hand at sewing, and I am a multifaceted, talented, unique individual. But sewing is not one of those unique talents that I possess. So
I long to do it well because I want to make my own clothes.
yes.
And I figured out, because I took time to reflect, I've had plenty of time to reflect on this. I'm so afraid of failure and failing to make a proper clothes
right.
for me that I just have executive dysfunction and I just don't do it. Because at this point, it's still possible. But if I make something and fail, then I'm like, oh, okay, I can't do it. After one time of trying.
I know my limitations, and while I'm happy to jump out of an airplane and do those things, it's far too much math for my delicate brain that just does that side of my brain. Just it's like a puzzle. And I don't like puzzles. I'm not a person that enjoys a puzzle that way. Give me a murder mystery and I'm all about trying to solve that. But putting pieces together to fit together the correct way and having to understand angles, and I'm more of a broad stroke kind of person. And so I really struggle with that. So I know my limitations with that. But my God, do I have respect for people that can sew and that can create in that avenue of artistic talent. That's just not where mine is.
Well, what kills me is that I know that I can sew because I sew for other people.
Right.
I just have this mental block about sewing for myself. So I'm getting rid of every excuse why I don't. Oh, it's too messy in there. It's not organized. I don't know what I have, blah, blah, blah. So
well, that's the first step in trying to do something is
admitting that you have a disease.
Right. Yeah. But seriously, like is to declutter things. Cause yes, you always say that I have things everywhere. I'm a stuffed kind of person. Michelle is not in that sense. But when it comes to the things that she's passionate about, like sewing, she has shelves full of things.
I have everything. I have all the tools, all the bobbins, all the pressure feet, all everything. I got everything.
Right. So even though I have a lot of stuff, every so often I have to go in and get rid of stuff. Like my daughter is coming Wednesday. My daughter Nina is coming out this Wednesday. Staying until Monday. She's coming for her best friend, who she's been friends with since kindergarten, for her birthday, who still lives out here in Arizona, and then my birthday is also this month, so they're sliding me into their girl stuff, and so we're going to do dinner and a couple of little things there. But I had to declutter. I had to say, okay, she's going to be here for a little bit. They're getting an Airbnb, but she'll be here for a little bit. Do I really need to have 47 bundles of dried lavender all over in my, and do I need to have, five, I think I just put it away. I did. I literally have, because I have the machine that sucks the air out of the stuff you're packaging. And I literally have bricks of dried lavender that I've made. Just these big bricks that, so I suck the air
store
out.
it. Yeah,
to store it, because I make I have the little sachets and they smell amazing. But in order to keep it, from just drying out completely, so I had to get rid of stuff. And there were things that I was looking at, like I have, I slid these over here on my thing. Like I had a whole stack of my crystal grids that I had around the house and that I was using. And so I'm like, these need to get filed away, put away. They don't need to be out right now. So I think that that's a big part of decluttering, so that you can move forward with projects.
Yeah.
And sometimes you need a catalyst. Like that was a catalyst for me. My daughter's coming. So let me get up and get going and do this stuff. Or, organizing the station or organizing your workspace. I usually do that the night before I have clients coming to the house. So find what your catalyst is.
Absolutely. And just do it. Like, there is a time for reflection. I will go long periods of time and do nothing but read a book or look at videos and plan my strategy for the next quarter or whatever. But I'm a long time. And Don's like, hey, are you okay?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I'm in an ebb, and then I'll be in a flow here in a minute.
Yep.
Yeah, I just have to. I take an extraordinary amount of time to refill if I'm spent.
Yeah.
So that's what I've been doing, and yeah, I've been trying to just basically hold things together a little bit while I explore these other things, because I know that once I get those projects going, I can lovingly set them down, because I'll get a creative rush and create a whole bunch of classes or, work on a project. Other than that, I've got 14 projects going at any given time, and I'll get tired or bored with one project, but I just go to the next one, and eventually they make the rotation and they all get done. So that's how I that's how I navigate my life.
Well, that's your process.
Done. Yeah.
And see, I'm the opposite. I have to, sometimes when you're working on a dog and you're doing a haircut and you're so focused on getting those straight lines and those, you're just hyper focused, and you have to, I tell my students this all the time, take the dog off the table, put it on the floor, let it shake out, let it move, let it, and step away for a moment, and then pick the dog back up and put it back on the table. So there's nothing wrong with stepping away. Like I said, I have classes that I want to build and that have been on the forefront of my mind, but sometimes you're staring at it so hard and you're so intent on making them perfect that you have to step away from it and shut your brain off that has anything to do with any of that.
And it will never be perfect. I think a lot of people get a roadblock because they're like, well, it's not perfect yet, so I can't release it, or I can't publish it, or I can't, do that part of it yet. Sometimes you just have to do it imperfectly.
Yeah.
And then the next one's going to be better. Just like my hang up with making clothes for myself. I have to at least get in there and try. So I've made some slopers, but I don't want to cut fresh fabric to something, you know what I mean? So I'm starting little. I've got a stack of clothes that need to be upgraded and tailored. And then I've got fabric that I want to use I've got favorite items of clothing. and I want to make a pattern with those pieces and then make a shirt or blouse or whatever out of each one onto a different material. So that's where I'm starting. That's where I'm going to start doing that. But I have motivated myself into at least cleaning that area of my life up and organizing it so that I do, I am able to breathe freely when I'm in there and say, okay, everything's in its place, mise en place, and I can do everything that I need to do in there.
Well,
And that transfers to every part of your life. It
yeah,
transfers
don't
to
don't you feel
grooming. It
that's, like, the
transfers.
hopeful? It gives you, like, a hopefulness when you do get into clearing out some of the clutter in your brain, in your body, like
Mhm.
eating the right foods, taking care of yourself, all of those things, it brings, and that's what spring means to me, is it's
Yes.
hopefulness. We're out of that cold, dark winter,
Mhm.
and so we're tilling our own soil, so to say.
Well, check this out too. Don was listening to a TED Talk or someone. He listens to all kinds of inspirational and motivational speakers and all kinds of stuff like that. And I like to listen to that too, but not he's like into it. And he believes in manifesting your destiny. You're the power. You're the captain of your ship. Of your life. And he saw one person speak, and he was like, you know what? I really find this interesting, and I think that I really believe it. If you fail to clean your house out, your material goods,
Right.
and go through it at least once a year, and you find you're holding on to stuff that you don't use or wear, or little knickknacks that you never even dust, um, he's like, you're actually holding on to your past. You're holding on to the
Oh, yeah.
negativity associated with this. I had a whole trash bag full of shoes. I'll go through shoes like crazy trying to find ones that fit or whatever. I don't return them. They just form a pile. And he says, everything bad that happened to you last year and all those shoes you're holding on to that you're not going to wear, you're actually keeping that negativity next to you in your home.
Yeah.
And it was like, it's like, oh, okay, I get it. So I did round up the shoes that I don't wear, but now they're in a bag in the garage, and I figured
Well,
they can live
you're
out there.
moving them. You're moving them.
Right. Well,
You're
my
moving.
plan is as I go through my clothes and find the ones that I don't want anymore or won't fit me or don't suit me as I am now, I want to take to the shelter. So I'm kind of just collecting all those things, and maybe they'll breathe new life into someone else. I've got business attire and nice clothes, and if they're looking for jobs or if they don't have anything, they can at least
Right.
have some basic pieces that they can use. So that's
Well,
my plan, and I
see,
am executing it.
well, and that's a good thing. You're moving it closer to execution. Like
Mhm.
it's in the planning stages of moving things out and executing that. But
Mhm.
think about all the stuff like, and I mean, Michelle knows I'm borderline hoarder. I hold on to everything with the intention of, oh, I'm going to fix that. Oh, I'm going to use that. Oh, I'm
Mhm.
going to, like
Mhm.
stupid things like cottage cheese containers and, but like
Yeah.
just stuff. And so I've gotten a lot better. My husband has been very helpful in throwing things away when I'm not looking. But
Mhm.
the the one thing that used to drive me crazy about myself was in my grooming station, when you go to use a bow and you
Mhm.
break the rubber band on it, but it's a super cute bow, and you're like, oh, I'll put
I'm
a
going to
new,
put another new one on
yeah,
there.
I'm gonna fix it. Next thing you know, you have a drawer in your station that's full of broken bows and
That
broken
don't have a match.
blades, and you have the blades that you drop that 5 blade on the floor and the piece
Mhm.
broke, and you're like, oh, but I'm going to see, maybe I could use this for this, or I'm going to use that one for carding, or I'm going to use this. And you have that drawer full of broken stuff. And I believe truly what you said is that that's all the broken parts of you that
Mhm.
you can't let go of. And
Mhm.
so you tuck them away in that drawer. So that way you can revisit them and you can feel that pain again, and you can feel that. And because it frustrates you when you open
Mhm.
that drawer, it only makes you feel like you have not accomplished what you wanted to do, because it's a
Yeah.
reminder drawer of all the things that you said you were going to do but you didn't.
Mhm.
So
And it's
instead.
okay to not do those projects.
Yes,
And
it is.
both you and I have that issue. It's hard for
Right.
me to just let a project go
Yes.
because I have such good intentions.
Yep.
But the road to hell, honey.
Yep. It's paved with those intentions. So
Yeah, and you're just
like
stuck there. And it's
take
like,
that
just,
drawer and dump it. Just
you
get
have to let
rid
it
of
go.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. In order to move forward. And
Hmm.
look at that bow when you break it and just say, well, I guess the universe did not want me to use this one and it's going in the garbage. And that's
Hmm.
it.
Hmm.
Unless you are that, like I work with another educator that is super crafty, a sewer.
Hmm.
She makes all her own bows. So if she breaks a bow or whatever, she's going to take it apart and she's going to put it in another one. But that is her thing. That is like what
Hmm.
she does. She doesn't put it in a box and save it for 6 months until she has a
Hmm.
box full of them.
It's in a scrapbook. It's holding something up. It's tying something.
Yeah.
It's doing something.
Right. So,
Yeah.
clean it out and allow for something positive to be replaced in that there's no shame in replacement.
Right.
And that is something that I feel like, especially as women, I think we hold on to shame a lot more
Hmm.
because we have different expectations on us, I think,
Hmm.
as females. And so, we're supposed to be crafty. We're supposed to know how to do certain things.
We're supposed to be organized.
Organized,
Holy
yes.
cow.
All these things. And if you're not, there's no shame in saying, I'm not, and I struggle
Hmm.
with this, but I'm working towards being better organized.
Hmm.
You may never be completely, what's her name? Marie Koto, the
Yeah.
Chinese lady that, or
I don't
Japanese.
even mention her name.
Yeah.
She who must not be named.
Yeah, she knows how to organize. I mean, I get my moments, like I'll YouTube her and I'll watch all her stuff, and then I'll be like,
Hmm.
all right, and then I'll put everything together the way it should be and throw away stuff and do all that, and then 3 months later, it's a hot mess
Hmm.
in my
Yeah, I can't live like that. I don't think
yeah.
I can. And I think that's the main push for my
Excuse me.
minimalistic. Bless you.
Thank you.
That's my main probably way of being because of minimalism, because I
Right.
know that about myself. So I try to eliminate as much as possible. I literally, I can't, you can't, no one who walked in here, bless you. No one who walked in here would think that I'm a minimalist other than I don't decorate.
Right.
Because I do have a lot of stuff because everything's a project. Holy cow, everything's a
Yeah.
project. However, I
Oh
am
my gosh, I'm so sorry.
but I do think that I'm better today than I ever have been in my life. And for that, I'm grateful. And I see the accomplishment that I have now. Whereas when I was more in my youth, there was just no way. There's just no way. I was like a leaf in the wind. Bless you.
Oh my goodness.
Get it out.
I know. Spring is in the air.
Right. Absolutely, it is. So, yeah, I think that both of us are kind of recovering from Pasadena just now
Oh yeah.
because we have a lot going on. So, we have
Yes,
it.
it was
Bless
the
you.
lavender. I sniffed the lavender.
Right.
And
It was cleaning you out.
oh God.
But I think that
I think you're right. I think that we hold on to things like that for a reason with good intentions.
right.
So sometimes we have to. God bless me. Sometimes we have to adjust our intent,
Hmm.
and
You have
that's
to be
hard.
flexible. Hmm.
Yeah, because we all have trauma. We all
Hmm.
carry scars from something. I was just saying this to my husband the other night. I said, I think I hold on to certain things, or I like a lot of stuff around me
Hmm.
because I grew up in an environment where we moved all the time.
Hmm.
And so I went to a new school sometimes 2, 3 times in a school year,
Hmm.
sometimes more.
Hmm.
So we were we had to be kind of portable. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Or my mom would have a lot of things, but she would just get rid of it. You know, like
Mhm.
it was like it didn't hold any real meaning. It was just stuff or whatever,
Mhm.
and we'll get different stuff or don't worry about it.
Mhm.
And so I hold on to a lot of things, or I put a lot of meaning into the things that I surround myself with, which I surround myself with a lot of stuff. And
Mhm.
so for me,
I
it's
think
a
it makes
part
you
of,
feel safe to have
yes, it's
that,
a part,
and
right.
it's
It's a part
your things. You want
part
your
of
things
my
around you.
right. And so
Mhm.
I create this cocoon. I call it my cocoon because I literally do. When I say I have those boo rattly moments where I don't ever want to go out of the house. I
Mhm.
don't want to, but I create a space for myself within my home that I feel safe and that I feel
Right.
cocooned in these things. But
Mhm.
every so often I gotta throw that crap away and and
Mhm.
make room for something else.
Well, we discussed earlier, back in another episode too, and we discussed this off camera and in our life as well, when we talked about maybe leaving one job to go to another, or
Yeah.
leaving grooming to start teaching, and you have to make room for your new life that you
Yeah.
want. And if you want the same life you have now, no problem. Keep doing what you're doing. But if you always long for something, you long to, oh man, I can't wait till I'm such and such, it's going to be different. You have to make room for that life, which means cleaning things out, organizing your thoughts, organizing your environment, and making choices that make that thing that you're longing for happen. You have to make room for it.
I just read a thing the other day on, I was saying I haven't been very participatory on social media lately because I've just been in a period of down, not wanting to be participatory. But Melissa Jepson posted a post the other day talking about you don't always have to be it. You don't always have to be at the pinnacle of everything.
Mhm.
And for women like us that are habitual overachievers,
Mhm.
it's hard for us to say, you know what, it's okay if I declutter and I step back and I'm in more of an auxiliary role right now in this season, and
Mhm.
I am not the leader, or I am not um, all eyes on me right now.
Mhm.
And I mean, for all my fabulousness and my sparkle and my look at me, watch me, look at what I'm doing, sometimes you need to step back and say, you know what, I'm going to focus on helping other people, or I'm going to, like, for
Mhm.
myself, I've just been very focused on my students who are in the last month of their groomer training.
Mhm.
And I've been very focused on that, and it takes the focus off of me. It becomes exhausting when your main goal is to propel yourself at all times into the stratosphere of, look at what I'm doing and I'm putting out all this wonderful stuff. Well, sometimes you need to step back. And in her post, she talked about Sherlock Holmes and Watson. And
Mhm.
Sherlock Holmes would not have been Sherlock Holmes, would it not have been for his partner,
Mhm.
who literally held him up and who supported him. And so sometimes it's important to step back and know that it's okay to be that support beam, to
Mhm.
be that scaffolding, and let somebody else stand in the limelight for a little while,
Mhm.
you
Well,
know?
and maybe not think of it as the limelight. I tend to think of the things that I do as, this is what I can offer you. If you want it, it's here. And
Right.
then I'll occupy myself with other things until I'm needed. I am the last person that wants to be in the spotlight. I'm very introverted naturally.
Right.
If they need me to talk about something, I can absolutely talk about it. But I'm not trying to be number one. Look at me, all my stars, blah blah blah. I'm not doing that. I'm in a time in my life when I can, yeah. You do need a crown. You need that crown, and it needs to sparkle, and
I
that's an
know who I
important part
am.
of who you are. Yeah.
I, but I also know I have to step back.
Mhm.
sometimes you just got to polish the crown for a little while. Or let
Absolutely.
somebody else.
You got to maintain
else.
that. You just
Right.
can't be it. You got to maintain it. It's almost like we have to be our own Watson.
Yes.
Because no one else is going to Watson us like we can Watson us.
Right.
So sometimes you just have to step back, drink some cucumber water, polish up your crown, get your robes in order, and then you can move forward when everything is correct.
Well,
but absolutely.
I think as a teacher too,
mm-hmm.
I think it is very, very, very important to step back and become a student and allow yourself to just absorb what's going on around you. If you're a teacher in the grooming industry, things change so quickly in this industry.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's important to step back and learn new things, or if at all, change your perspective on some things, and then bring that renewed perspective. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's my birthday this month. I will be celebrating all month long. So
mm-hmm. It's your birthday month?
Yes.
Is it your birthday year?
Yep. So, because
Erin's like that too. She's like, this is my birthday year, so we're going to be celebrating.
Yeah. Well, we will be celebrating all month long because it is my birthday this month. So, because I know what the alternative is. So I'm not upset that I'm going to be 57. I'm ecstatic that I get another year to try again. And are
we going to be 57 or are we going to be 58?
No, I'll be 57.
So that means I'll be 57. I thought we were already 57.
No, we're 56.
Damn.
Yep.
Did I just gain a whole year? That's amazing. I thought we were going to be 58. Our birthdays are very close, so we're the same age in the year. She just turns she turns before I do. So it's minuscule. I'm July,
Yeah. Just a tiny bit.
A little bit.
So my Cancer sister. So, but I think that it's important that we take those times to step into a new role for yourself.
Yeah.
You have to be able to clean things out to allow new things in. And even if you're not a teacher, even if you are a groomer in a salon or a mobile unit or wherever you groom, you need to take that time and say, okay, this is how I've been doing teddy bear heads for the past 10 years. And this is the way that I do them. Start watching some of those videos. My gosh, I have seen some amazing techniques that I've been like, hey, have you seen this? And I literally share them with my students. Mm-hmm. And then I will try them. Mm-hmm. I will never be the you can't teach an old dog new tricks kind of person. I want to know how they're doing these and how they're changing up the style, because grooming is an overall an aesthetic art. Mm-hmm. So we are
just like fashion. It changes. Like styles change. When I learned how to do a Bichon, we were still doing bell ears. Right. They don't do that anymore. They laugh at you when you bring that dog around. They're like, oh my gosh, that hasn't been in style since 1969. Right. So it changes all the time. I just recently learned through Riza about a year ago how to get rid of that marionette look, that jolly marionette look. Yeah. And I learned stuff all the time. And I'm like, okay, that's how you do that. It all changes. It all gets better. That's why you should challenge yourself. That was on the list when we started. You should challenge yourself to do one thing that you haven't done before. Perfect one more thing that you haven't done before. I have a lovely colleague who her scissor work is so tight and so crisp. However, she doesn't know how to do Asian fusion. She would be perfect for it. And not only that, she could charge more for her work, and her clients would love that. They would love it. So I've been slowly trying to give her the confidence to maybe try out a class or two of Asian fusion because she would be so good at it, because she's so precise. Everything is just so tight. And I would just love to see that for her. So I challenge her all the time. You need to do that. You need to do that. And finally this year she goes, okay, I'm going to take a couple classes. So we're waiting on those classes, Rita. She said they were going to be here online waiting.
But we need that.
Yeah.
We need to challenge ourselves, but we also need to challenge each other.
Yes.
So again, going back to being somebody's Watson,
Mhm.
you need to do that. If you work by yourself in a mobile van, or you work in
Mhm.
a veterinary clinic and you're the only groomer,
Mhm.
and you don't have a large social circle, get involved, in a local group or even a women's group that doesn't even have to be grooming related. You
Right.
can challenge yourself in other ways.
Mhm.
I know plenty of groomers that have said to me, "Oh, I always wanted to take yoga, but I feel weird going to class alone. I don't know
Mhm.
anything about it." Take a beginner's class.
Mhm.
Put yourself out there. Now is the time for growth. We've stepped into spring, and part of spring is to clean out, or like I
Mhm.
said, till our own soil.
And
You
there's
know,
an amazing groomer group on Facebook called Yoga for Groomers that I believe
oh
Christina
yeah,
Pearson started. And I have a series for wrists and for people who are pleasantly plump. And there are a ton of others who have contributed videos and all kinds. So you could get on there and just have fellow groomers do yoga with them.
right.
Just as a side note.
Well, and that's what I mean. There's a niche pocket for
Mhm.
for almost anything. I mean, I belong to some of the metaphysical groomer groups,
Mhm.
where we talk about all things metaphysical.
Right.
Um, different spirituality groups as well for groomers. There's a lot of different niches, and you need to step out, and you don't need to be like, okay, well, I'll just join all these groups at one time. No, step out a little bit at a time, get your feet wet, dip your toe in.
Mhm.
If you don't like it, you don't have to stay, you don't have to do it, but you can say, hey, I tried this and it really wasn't for me, or I tried this and now I'm hooked, I love it, it's something that
Exactly. Yeah.
that I
And
really
trying
want
new
to
things will at least tell you things that you don't want to pursue.
do.
Maybe
Right.
you've dreamt of doing yoga all the time, and then you get into it, either on YouTube or at the groomer group or whatever, and this, and you're like, this really sucks, and I don't love it as much as I thought
Right.
I would. You know what I mean? Pick something else. At least you've eliminated that from your brain and made room for the things that you really do want to do.
Yeah. And that's important. That's what we're talking about with cleaning out.
Mhm.
So physical cleaning of a space is
Mhm.
very important. But also with yourself, what you bring into your space. If you're challenging yourself and you're trying new things, you're going to change your physical energy output. You're going to change your frequency of how you're interacting with the animals, with the people around you.
Mhm.
When you're stuck, when you're in the comfort zone, and when you've eaten that last bag of Cheetos and you're like, I probably shouldn't have eaten that bag of Cheetos.
God,
And
I
you're,
do know that feeling.
yes, you're like, I need something else. I need to do something else. Cheetos are no longer, fueling this, or they're
Mhm.
no longer soothing whatever I'm trying to
Or
soothe
they're
away.
covering something that
Yeah,
you don't want to face.
right. And so it's important to step forward and say, okay,
Mhm.
now I'm cleaning it out. I'm a person that I hate to throw stuff away because I don't know. I just always think, oh, what a waste. And it's a big waste or whatever. And Michelle has seen me eat, so she knows that I always say I'm a waste. I waste all the time. I've stopped. I made it a resolution to stop saying that and to saying I'm finished with that.
Mhm.
Not that I'm wasting it, not that it's a negative thing. It is a completion of something. I'm
Yeah,
finished with
absolutely.
that.
You don't have to finish a whole plate. You
Right.
don't have to order a whole plate. You could
Absolutely.
just have a side dish. You could
Yep.
just have a whatever. And that's just an example. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
With
But
that
change
same
your
mindset.
perception of it.
Right.
Right. Every negative thing that you think about yourself can be turned to a positive.
Right.
And be kinder to yourself. Be your own best friend. No one else is going to love you like you love you.
Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
remind yourself in the mirror how beautiful you really are. You are. You are God's creation. You are
And
a
you deserve
gorgeous,
good things
beautiful human being. Yes.
and new things. I know so many groomers that are like, well, well, have you seen the new clipper, or have you seen the, like, somebody still using the old, what I call the Andis brick, the old
Mm-hmm.
2-speed. And I'm
Yes.
like, and they'll talk about, oh, I've seen that, or but well, this one still works and it's fine and it's okay. And,
Mm-hmm.
well, okay, put it aside or give it to somebody just starting and purchase the new one that you want, or keep it as a backup for when your new one has to go for repair. It is okay to upgrade yourself, to upgrade your tools, to upgrade even your clients. How about when we need to clean out that client list?
Check this out. I have been grooming around, I don't know, 30, 35 years. And it wasn't until my 18th to 20th year that I got myself an actual expensive, what I would consider a high-end shear.
Right.
And when I did, I was like, oh my gosh, why was I holding this back from myself? Why didn't I just get one at year 5? Why didn't I have a good shear at year 5?
Right.
I feel like I went from a beginner intermediate to a high-end groomer just by changing my shear. And I remember it was an Utsumi, and it was everything. It cut like butter. It was just amazing. I'm like, why didn't I do this? So now when beginner people or people who are training beginners go, well, what's a good all-around work shear and this, that, and the other? I'm like, well, you can go with this, this, or this, but start saving your pennies right now. Even if you're a first-year groomer, start saving your pennies right now to get the best shear you can afford. And after you buy that one first year, start saving up again to get another one. You're going to want to set.
And when you take it out, it used to be like, the Ark of the Covenant. It would be like,
yeah.
And like, you like hold it so gingerly, and you're like, oh my
but
God.
Why wait 20 years to get a tool that's going to help you expand your business, get better finishes, get better money, get better clientele? Why would you wait?
It's about investing in yourself. So
yes.
With that spring cleaning, clean out all that clutter. You have 10,000, workhorse shears. Keep a couple, and now start replacing that with higher end shears, so that you don't have to have them sharpened as often, so that you don't, have carpal tunnel or, finger.
And I'm telling you this right now, all of you out there that have combs that look like Halloween teeth, you need to get new ones.
Right. Get rid of that. Go through periodically.
Stop that.
As groomers, we are hoarders. I think that's why I fit in so well. We are stuff kind of people, and we hold on to everything. Oh, this one's for my dirty dog dematting, and the teeth are all, and it's like we have stuff for everything.
Stop doing that.
Yeah, start
care enough for yourself that you're going to have a good working set of tools that are correct and sharp and clean and organized.
Yeah, you deserve it. You work hard, and when you do spend that kind of money, also, it's almost like, we're joking around. I said like the Ark of the Covenant, but it really is. You're like, these are my shears. These are important to me. This is an important investment in, in my artistry and what I do. Painters, they invest in brushes that are, expensive, and canvases and paint.
The best paint, the best canvases, the best easels, the best
all those things. And so it's important that we invest in ourselves. So we need to declutter all those emotions that make us hold on to crappy broken equipment, and using brushes that have like no tines left on them, that are bent to heck. And it's like, I believe that it is about 50% skill and 50% of what your actual shears and combs and brushes, what your tools that you're using.
Absolutely.
If you have good tools, and I asked Jonathan David this one time, and I said to him, is it tools, or is it the actual talent? And he said, talent can only get you so far.
Mhm.
He said education and the right tools in an
Mhm.
educated, talented person's hands can do almost
To
anything.
just send you to the moon. Yeah,
Right.
absolutely,
And
absolutely.
and so, I took that to heart because I never thought I was a very talented groomer. I always say I'm an adequate groomer, but I realized that my skill level was like level up, like the noise that the video game makes when you level up. As soon
Mhm.
as I got new, a little bit more expensive shears and better clippers, and I started to really educate myself about the types of grooming that I like, the types of coats.
Mhm.
And so, but I had to clear away all those preconceived notions that I was just an adequate groomer and I wasn't good enough to deserve those kind of things. No, I'm not a competition groomer, nor do I care to be. That's not my niche. But I feel like if I had to get in there and compete, I could compete. You understand what I mean? That I believe in myself well enough. Do I think I could win? That's up to the
Well,
judge.
I
You know
think
what I
that
mean? That's
yeah, I think that everybody is at the level they wanna be at,
right.
and that means that I am at the top of my line. At the top of my career, I'm at a level that exceeds everyone else at what I do.
Right.
So every groom,
You
because
have to
my
believe in
criteria
that.
for a good groom is going to be different than the next person's.
Absolutely.
So if I'm doing everything to the best of my ability and it brings me joy and the dog is calm and happy and healthy, I have achieved A+ status in my eyes.
Right.
And your tools, every time you pick them up, instead of going, oh my gosh, I hate these scissors.
Yep.
Um, you can pick up your Utsumis or your Kenchis or your whoever that you love the best, and you think that's the she's niche. You're going to pick those up, and every time you pick them up, you're going to be like, oh my gosh. Oh, yeah. That makes a difference in your everyday life. It makes a huge difference. The
But you
comb
need
that you want, get
to
that comb.
declutter. Yeah, you need to declutter and clean out all the
Mhm.
other stuff that's holding space, that's taking up the space for
For
new
your
things.
new beautiful tools that
Right.
can elevate you beyond your talent, beyond your
And your
skill.
and your new beautiful attitude,
Yes,
to
absolutely. It's worth it.
step
It's worth every
into
penny.
right, step into yourself and see the value
Mhm.
in um in that. See the value. Your clients will see the value, your coworkers. Uh, when you actually clear away all that clutter and physical clutter as well as emotional, you present yourself in a way that you are able to feel like you can move forward.
Mhm.
You feel stuck when you're picking up those shears and you're like, oh, I hate these shears. Oh
Not
my
only
God.
that, I
Oh,
think it's the mindset also, you're like, "Well, I'm not good enough to have those
yeah.
fancy shears." Guess
Mhm.
what? Those fancy shears will help you be good enough. They will take all the weight off your hands, your muscles, wear and tear on your body, and you'll get that better finish. I guarantee it. I do not know why I waited so long. That is a prime example. Take care of yourself by making sure you have the tools you need to do your job correctly.
Belief
Um,
in yourself will take you further than any tool or any education
mhm.
or
You
anything.
are worth it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you have to believe that at your core that you're worthy of those things, and then they
Yes.
only accentuate you.
Mhm.
So,
Absolutely.
so
I
happy spring.
agree.
Happy spring, happy spring, happy spring. I'm hoping to see lots of videos of people springing forward into
Yes,
their newfound,
absolutely.
decluttered, better outlooks.
Absolutely. All right. Well, we've come to the end of our hour today. Um, uh, this is April 1st. We will be seeing this. This is our first of the month. It wasn't live, but it was kind of.
Yeah,
It's
we're
same day
recording
live.
it and posting it. Yeah.
Right, right. So we love you all. Make sure you take care of yourself and take
Yes.
care of your people. And may the next sip be just as delicious and prosperous as your last. And I'll see you again in a moment.